Supertech is in trouble again after its group chairman RK Arora was arrested in money laundering case. So we have this breaking news that's coming in right now that there's more trouble for the company Supertech as its chairman RK Arora was arrested in money laundering case last night by Enforcement Directorate. Uncertainty looms large for 20,000 flat buyers of 18 Supertech projects. Again, Supertech is working on 18 projects. Recently, the Supreme Court had given permission to take a loan from a private finance company. About 3,000 crore rupees were needed to complete these projects. After the action of ED on Supertech owner, these flat buyers are now seen trapped, and Supertech was to get the loan amount in July. So we have this breaking news that's coming in. Supertech is in trouble again after group chairman RK Arora was arrested in money laundering case last night by the ED. Now, uncertainty looms large for 20,000 flat buyers of 18 Supertech projects again. Supertech is currently working on 18 projects, and recently the Supreme Court had given permission to take a loan from a private finance company. About 3,000 crore rupees were needed to complete these projects. After the action of ED on Supertech owner, these flat buyers are now seen trapped. Supertech was to get the loan amount in July, but now we have this breaking news that's coming in that Supertech's group chairman RK Arora has been arrested in a money laundering case by the ED, and now uncertainty looms large for 20,000 flat buyers of 18 Supertech projects again. CNN News 18's Ashish Mehrishi is joining us on this story. Ashish, can you tell us more about this latest development?
Yes, Purani. Investigation under the radar of Enforcement Directorate for quite some time. In fact, for the last 3-4 days, he was being questioned by Enforcement Directorate at length, and they found, and during investigation, that he is one of the beneficiaries of proceeds of crime. Now, how did the proceeds of crime came in? That proceeds of crime came in basically by duping hundreds and thousands of gullible investors, people who invested into houses, people who invested into malls and other properties. Now, interestingly, the money that came in from these gullible investors was basically diverted. It was not used, and they never got possession. So finally, there were a number of FIRs that were registered in UP and various other places, NCR and various other places. In fact, what I've been told is that almost 200 FIRs have been registered against RK Arora. Finally, the Enforcement Directorate culminated the entire investigation into one ECIR, and they finally investigated into RK Arora's on how he diverted the funds. Now, after finding that he is a beneficiary of proceeds of crime, there is no other option for the Enforcement Directorate but to arrest him under the law. So that is why he has been arrested as of now. He stands arrested and he'll be produced before the court today.
Also, Ashish, now what next for the 20,000 buyers?
So, we all know that the courts have been very sensitive to the entire matter. The courts is looking into the matter. There is a chance that these investors might get, the project might be handed over to a different organization, and they will basically deliver those houses. And we all know that Supertech is also gone to NCLT. So this is something interesting which is happening, but obviously the fate of these investors hold, it is as of now it is in limbo. But let's see how things move forward.
So, Ashish, what next for the chairman?
So the chairman, basically, we know that he's been heading the organization of builders and in India. But interestingly, the person who was heading this, he was also basically diverting funds, and this diversion was basically going into properties which were into group companies, and these group companies were owned by his family members and relatives. So basically, it's a huge diversion of funds. The NPA stands at around 1,500 crore rupees. The Enforcement Directorate has attached around 40 crore rupees of assets of the Supertech group and the personal assets of RK Arora. Getting a bail under PMLA is obviously very difficult. We all know it's a very difficult thing because Prevention of Money Laundering Act does not allow bail so easily. So obviously he goes to the, in all likelihood, he first goes to the custody of the Enforcement Directorate and later on maybe to the judicial custody. And let's see how things move forward. But he's going to be produced before the court today.
All right, Ashish, please stay with us. We also have CNN News 18's Yash Goyal with us on this story. Yash, can you tell us more about RK Arora's arrest and the cases, the FIRs that were filed against him?
Well, Anjali, if we talk about this particular arrest, this is pertaining to money laundering case. And in fact, like my colleague Ashish Mehrishi also pointed out, that they were the questioning was going on for a very long time from the last 3-4 days. And yesterday night, he was finally arrested. And if we're talking about the FIRs which have been registered against RK Arora, are pertaining to be beneficiary of proceeds of crime and in fact also duping number of buyers, in fact, in this entire saga. And in fact, if we talk about the people who are still stuck, the number is very high. In fact, around 20,000 to 18,000 to 20,000 home buyers are already stuck trying to get possession of their homes. And in fact, the number of houses which are in fact under the scrutiny, or the houses which are still under construction, are somewhere around 27,000 houses. And in fact, these are the societies which are based in Noida, Delhi, NCR region. And in fact, these houses go and these projects go till Meerut. And in fact, approximately 18 such projects we are talking about. And in fact, one such project, if we talk about in particular, is of Supertech Cape Town, which is in sector 74 of Noida, and many such places. In fact, buyers from a very long time are waiting for the possession. And interestingly, what we have to also understand is that the Supreme Court has also earlier, and the IRP authorities have also given go ahead for these builders to actually raise monies via NBFC. And in fact, via NBFC, this particular group has raised a humongous amount of money, and still the possession has not been allotted to the people. And in fact, we have to understand this is a very huge issue for the buyers as well, because people like you and me actually invest their life earnings in these homes. They take loans and they are paying EMIs on that particular loan. So this is a very tedious task for them to actually ask for their homes once they've paid the money. And in fact, Supertech is not new to such controversies. We have seen how number of projects of Supertech were in the eye of the storm. In fact, the most infamous one was the Supertech Twin Tower demolition, which happened in Noida. So now he will be produced today in the court, and in fact the agency will be seeking the custody of RK Arora for further questioning and in fact to dig out more facts in the case. But for a fact, we know that he's been involved in proceeds of crime. This is what the claim is of the agencies. And in fact, there are many number of cases which are against both Supertech and in fact against RK Arora of fraudulent transaction and not actually delivering the homes to the buyers. And in fact, many of these projects actually date back to approximately 5 to 7 years. And in fact, the construction timeline which is being given to these buyers are not met by these very builders. Now, what happens is, in fact, this very company Supertech has also filed for under NCLT. They have filed for dissolvement. And in fact, now what can happen is like the courts and the authorities could direct other such construction companies to actually take over these projects and then go ahead and make construction. Their NPAs will be sold to the companies, and in fact, then only this entire process will begin. But till now, these buyers seems to be in luck, and in fact, these buyers are stuck, and in fact, they have invested a humongous amount of money in it. And in fact, we have to just imagine the number of homes which are the number of homes is somewhere around 27,000, which are still to be given to the buyers, and they have already paid the money in some cases.